in order to maintain the fundamental relationship between the Nigerian Customs Service and the media, which is understanding and commitments. The Custom National Public Relations Officer Deputy Controller Timi Bomodi at a media parley in Lagos appealed to maritime journalists not to sympathize with smugglers.
This media parley provides an opportunity for me to formally introduce myself since my appointment as the National Public Relations Officer for the Nigerian Customs Service. I've not had this opportunity. So to formally, meet with the media, and I'm grateful that at last it has come to pass. And also, I believe we will have the opportunity to look at issues that affect all of us and how we deal with these issues going forward. How can we improve on the levels of communication that exist among us? Indeed, all relationships are predicated on the ability among parties, between parties, to share information, to communicate. Our styles of communication may differ, but the content, the quality of the communication that we share among ourselves should be one that we can assign certain values to. I, for one, am particular about the respect for the individuality of the press, the respect for the freedom of the press. But at the same time, my expectations, even though they may be based on, you might call it maybe parochial views. I believe that when you have a cordial relationship with someone, that ordinarily should translate to a better relationship.
Over age vehicles. Age limit for cars is 10 years. It's 10 years. And that is the policy of the federal government. It's not the customs policy. We are only implementing that policy. At the stakeholders, the town hall meeting we held when we were reintroducing VIN valuation, that we should be silent about the workability of this whole thing. Not just VIN valuation itself, but with regards to non-standard VIN and with special reference to overage vehicles. I will respond again with an analogy I shared it with my colleagues this morning. To direct this complaint. The federal government, we know you made this policy in a way a man commits a crime and is sentenced to death. On the way to carry out the executioner decides that instead of killing him, he will give him 25 strokes of the cane. He agrees. Going halfway, the man looks at the executioner and asks him, "Do you want to kill me?" He's sentenced to death. The rule for prohibited goods are known to all of us. But we also understand the challenges within the country. And we have told them that, look, the system is assuming that every vehicle that is coming in, that is going to be processed, is not older than 10 years. So we took the last the terminal date, the value of the terminal date, and we assign it to vehicles that are coming in. And now we are hearing a lot of complaints, and we are saying, do we apply the rules exactly as we should? Which one is preferable? And it is not as bad as it is being painted. When we were doing sensitization, we looked at values for vehicles, and we discovered that, you know, even for 2015 vehicles, certain categories, their values were as low as $5,000. Certain category of vehicles, $5,000. The current exchange rate is neither here nor there. We don't control that. It's central bank that controls that. When you do the math and then you assign the duty, 20% and 15% levy, what comes out is totally out of our hands. It has nothing to do with customs. But the impression that is being given out there is that, oh, customs is being hard and customs is being mean. So we have to understand that these are the realities. It has nothing to do with whether we want to encourage people to bring in vehicles or not encourage people to bring in vehicles. But if you are going to take a decision to go into a particular line of business, you have to be aware of the conditions, the terms and conditions that are, you know, enshrined in the laws at that particular moment. So that when the reality, you know, you come face to face with the reality, you cannot come and start complaining again.
Volumes of files, applications for escorts, for instance, and we are talking about trade facilitation. So if you just come in without notice and without invitation, it turns out to be counterproductive. So on this note, I am appealing, please. If you can't wait patiently to secure an appointment, you can take an extra step. If you have the controller's number, reach out to him and phone. And then, I also want to make an appeal.
Some sense of responsibility, some of them, not all. And you find a way of guiding us so that you know who are the real ones. Like Oga said, we can have a press briefing, invite some people, and eventually we don't have our news on. So maybe we judge based on some, you may guide us on the best approach, because between throwing it open, let everybody come, and creating a balance with what he said. At the moment, media journalists, maritime journalists in Lagos, if you are to make it open, I don't think any customs command has a board that can contain the number you will get. It's sometimes as bad as 70, as bad as 100. And then realizing, like Oga Ismail made, it's a management function. You are working by directive. We have a tight budget and all that, because part of these media things are budgeted. And it's not really like you are going to be the one to decide what budget you're going to be working with. So you are torn in between, who am I going to call, throwing it open for who and for who, and then managing that crowd. If we are sincere, many of us have experienced it, and those who are very mature will come to us and say, how are you going to manage this? It's been a very difficult thing to manage. So this forum, so that going forward, I would like you to guide us, which is the best approach. Yes, some people are complaining about us having selective invitation to our media briefings, and another person is of the opinion, throw it open, let everybody come. And then I've also personally experienced throwing it open, and then you start from...
In the last few days, Mr. Bomodi and the other PROs are our brothers. Let us join them in the crusade of progressing the customs service. Where there are controversial issues, just call the respective command PROs or the controllers and sort out those issues. I want us to maintain good relationship, and at the same time, customs should also know that we can't keep on reporting. When I was president,
When you're invited and you feel that you just give them everything, let them go, I don't think that's nice. And for me, I don't like to be treated that way. Money is not everything, it's the love for the job that makes some of us still do news. And we're not going to leave news, it's our profession. And that should be respected. And I want to say once again, thank you so much, sir, for the
function. Aside creating content, it also has a function of interacting with the public and advising the management on how best to interact with the public. And the media is very strategic.
The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has spent 6 years, 11 months in the office. On his assumption, he clearly stated to the media that he has no welfare package for them, while the media on its side are still waiting to see if there will be changes. Joy Iramuna, Seabed TV.